The proclamation of the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. The Pharisees went off and began to plot how they might trap Jesus in speech. They sent their disciples to him, accompanied by Herodian sympathizers who said, "Teacher, we know you are a truthful man and teach God's way sincerely. You court no one's favor and do not act out of human respect. Give us your opinion then in this case. Is it lawful to pay tax to the emperor or not?" Jesus recognized their bad faith and said to them, "Why are you trying to trip me up, you hypocrites? Show me the coin you used for the tax." When they handed him a small Roman coin, he asked them, "Whose head is this, and whose inscription?" "Caesar's," they replied. At that he said to them, "Then give to Caesar what is Caesar's, but give to God what is God's." The Gospel of the Lord.
Our Gospel passage for this Sunday, World Mission Sunday, is taken from St. Matthew. We have been reflecting on God as the source of all authority, worldly, even worldly, and spiritual authority here on earth. In the first reading, King Cyrus of Persia was hailed as, the subduer of nations, the one who could command kings to serve him. But in God's mysterious plan, this great ruler became the instrument of the liberation of Israel. And through the prophet Isaiah, Cyrus is reminded of the fact that his power really comes from a God whom Cyrus did not know. Cyrus is an instrument, an agent of the truly powerful one. And so Cyrus must exercise his authority in fairness, in goodness, in justice, in truth, and hopefully through him, people will know that there is one God and no other. Earthly kings and those who possess power must realize their power comes from someone greater than they are. And in the end, they are accountable to that God. In many ways, in a real sense, those who wield power on earth are truly servants of the God, the all-powerful God. This is true also of spiritual and church leaders. In the second reading, St. Paul, the missionary, had a deep and keen awareness of that. While quite influential as an apostle to the Gentiles, the founder of so many local communities, well, he is very clear, as manifested in the second reading, that the community of the Thessalonians does not belong to him. They belong to God. The powerful word, the gospel that he proclaims, is not his. It is the gospel of Jesus Christ. And the power that enables the hearers, the Thessalonians, to accept the gospel is not his power. It is the Holy Spirit. A good reminder to the apostle and to all of us spiritual leaders. And a good reminder also to the community. They belong to God. They do not belong to Paul. So who possesses the power that enables us to believe, to love, to hope? It is God, the triune God. In the gospel, the same theme, but now approached by Jesus in a very fascinating way. Jesus is once again confronted by the religious leaders of the time, this time the Pharisees. And look at their intention. They wanted to trap Jesus. Oh, a misuse of power. You want to trap someone. No? This is manipulating a person so that this person, not knowing that he or she is being trapped, could be accused of something. My dear brothers and sisters, this is misuse of power. No? And so the first point here in the gospel is something negative, what we should avoid in terms of wielding power, using power to trap people. Unfortunately, that was the intention of the Pharisees. And look at how the manipulation started. They tried to flatter Jesus. Teacher, we know you are a truthful man and teach God's way sincerely. You court no one's favor and do not act out of human respect. Give us your opinion then. Now, what a way to manipulate someone. You open the person to be vulnerable. No? When you are flattered, your tongue becomes loose. You become trusting. Oh, I am before a friend, someone who appreciates me. So whatever they ask, oh, I will give. And so, look at this misuse of power. Not being truthful, but flattering someone in order to loosen the tongue of this someone, in order to find a reason to trap this person. But aside from the flattery, look at the question being proposed. Is it lawful to pay tax to the emperor or not? Again, it is a theoretical question, but what a question to use to trap Jesus. Remember that at this time, Israel was under Roman occupation. The question of paying taxes to the emperor was a sensitive, nationalist, and even spiritual issue. Paying taxes to the emperor is an admission that we are under a foreign ruler. And to pay taxes is in a way to allow the ruling forces, foreigner, to subjugate us. So you're in a bind here. Huh? If Jesus were to say, it is unlawful, so let us not pay taxes. The Pharisees will say, we will report you to the Roman authorities. No? You're unloyal to Caesar. But if he says, yes, it is lawful to pay taxes to the emperor, they could also say, you're a traitor to your own people. You side with the occupying forces. Where is your love for God's people? So look at how power is being misused in order to trap Jesus. Flattery and a question. But Jesus sees the heart of people. This is the power from on high, the wisdom that comes from His Father in the power of the Holy Spirit. Jesus tells them, why are you putting a trap in front of me? And wise as He was, He brought the question from a theoretical question to something practical. He asked for a coin with the inscription of the emperor. This coin, used to pay taxes, is also an ordinary coin, which the Israelites were used to using daily to buy things for their livelihood, for their provision, something ordinary. And Jesus, looking at this ordinary coin, tells them, whose figure is here? Caesar's. Then give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to God what belongs to God. What a wise answer. Jesus does not repudiate worldly authority as possessed by Caesar. Yes, part of our social life is respect for authorities. And what is due to them, you give. But Jesus situates this daily affair of running a country, political authority, in the wider context of God's power. It is not only the earthly emperor that deserves something. God, the higher being, deserves fair and just homage. And every earthly power, just like Cyrus's power in the first reading, must not forget that its power must be perceived in the wider and deeper context of true power that emanates from God. Apart from that, then, it is a destruction of power. Power separated from divine power might be misused. Without morality, without regard for accountability to God, then power will become brute force, used to subjugate people and used to manipulate people. That should not happen. On this World Mission Sunday, let it be the mission of all of us, in whatever capacity we find ourselves, and wielding some form of power, whether in the homes, in the schools, in governments, in churches. Let us purify that power by allowing God's power to take over us and to rule us. Today also, Pope Paul VI will be beatified. Today, the Pope who concluded Vatican II and implemented it for the renewal of the Church, will be declared the blessed. How he trembled before the power, the authority of being Pope. I remember reading one of his reflections after being elected Pope. He says, I am put here on the pinnacle of service, and I'm getting dizzy. Who will not get dizzy if one is placed on this pinnacle? But he is consoled by the fact that he remains a humble servant. It is not his church, but the church of Jesus Christ. He is not just an authority figure. He is a servant. And so with humility, he led the church also to be a humble servant of the modern world. Teaching the world, we don't have any ambition. The only ambition that the church has is to serve you. That's the power that God has given us, the power to serve humbly. The word has been exposed. Let us now fulfill it.